It doesn't matter how many times you have tried and failed. The only person who's really making it matter is you. It's the story you're telling yourself about having tried and having failed. We'll talk about that word in a second. That is the thing that's really controlling you. That's the thing that's holding you back. Because anybody who's ever done anything has tried something once, 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, and failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. And the reason why they got to where they got is because they just didn't stop. They just didn't give up. They didn't quit. They didn't allow the story, right, about failure to overwhelm and override their desire to continue. If you have stopped on something that you really wanted to do, it's because the story you're telling yourself about that thing is become more powerful than your desire to make it happen. I've done this, everybody I've worked with has done this, you have probably definitely done this. And so how do we actually get to where we want to go? How do we make the things happen that we really want to make happen? First, you got to begin to identify the story you're telling yourself about having tried that thing and having not succeeded at it. And usually that story is quite negative, or there's some sort of fear there, or there's some sort of doubt there, or some sort of worry there about, well, maybe what mom thinks, or maybe what dad thinks, or my girlfriend, or my boyfriend, or all of my friends, what do they think? But at the end of the day, those are just opinions. And opinions are free, right? Like, if opinions cost $1,000 a piece, I think people be really careful about the opinions that they said about you and your worth and what you're doing. But they're free. And so you're gonna get those opinions from people a lot. So, that being said, at the end of the day, the only person that really matters in this equation is you. And if you don't care that you've tried something 1,000 times and it's not worked out, or you've tried to do something for 3 years and it hasn't worked out, if you don't care about that story, that fact, nothing else will affect you. And you'll just be able to keep going. You'll be able to keep adjusting your plan, keep on heading in the right direction, keep on moving in the right direction. But if you come up with some sort of story about, oh, this means that I'm a terrible person, or I have no worth, or X, Y, or Z, whatever it might be, then you're gonna be in trouble. Because that story can be pretty powerful, and with that story there, you're not gonna be able to carry forward in terms of the things that you really wanna do in this life. So, dissolve the story, right? To pick that thing apart, figure out what you're telling yourself about you, about this mission, about this journey that you've wanted to take. And then when you figure out that story, ask yourself this question: does this story serve me in my accomplishment of this goal? Does this story help me get to where I want to go? The answer is definitely going to be no, right? Or else you'd be continuing to do what you wanted to do. So knowing that this story doesn't help you, that it doesn't serve you, what you can end up doing, right, is going, okay, well, what would a story be that would really serve me, right? And the story might be, I'm just gonna keep on going until I win, until I succeed. And any amount of failure, it doesn't matter, because I now see failure as feedback. That I'm doing something that might not be leading to my success, that I'm doing something that I need to adjust, okay? So make that shift in your mind. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried something. It doesn't matter. The only person that's making it matter is you. And at the end of the day, if you make that story something that really serves you, you'll carry on and you'll do your thing. And if you don't, you'll just stay stuck, or you'll never actually go to try to make that thing happen. So change the story and it will change your results.